So dear students, in this lecture, we will continue the story of arrival of European colonial powers in India. So till now we have already discussed the Portuguese, after Portuguese came the Dutch, after Dutch came the English people, and now it's the time for arrival of the French in India. So let us see what made French people come to India, what were the major events of the French dominion of India. So let's see. Foundation of French centers in India. The last European people to arrive in India were the French. You have to remember this. Who were the first? The Portuguese. The French East India Company was formed in 1664 during the reign of King Louis XIV to trade with India. In 1668 AD, the French established their first factory at Surat, and in 1669 AD established another factory at Masulipatam, Andhra Pradesh. All these are coastal towns. Surat, already English were present there. English had a factory there. Since 1613 they had a factory there, and now the French people have also decided to open a first factory at Surat. So where did the first factory got opened by these European powers? It's an important fact. So Portuguese opened their first factory in Calicut, the English opened their first factory in Surat, and the French also opened their first factory in Surat only. Where did the Dutch people open their first factory? They had opened their first factory at Masulipatam. So basically it means that these were coastal towns which lots of ships coming in from various countries. So these were some trading harbors or trading ports of those times, you can say. In 1673 AD, the Mughal Subedar of Bengal allowed the French to set up a town in Chandranagar. So Chandranagar is in Bengal. So Mughal Subedars were like governors. So these governors had the authority, or so now they have already allowed the British in 1662. Now a few years later they are giving permission to French as well. So French entered India easily without any resistance. They didn't have to fight any war. So Pondicherry became the nerve center of French power in India, or you can say the most important territory held by the French. So you have to remember this fact. In 1673, Francois Martin became the director of Masulipatam factory. The first factory they have established was at Surat. But now they are moving towards South India because in Surat already the English are present. So their next important factory is located at Masulipatam, and Francois Martin had become its director in 1673. So Pondicherry was founded in 1674. So question is asked, which European power founded Pondicherry? Answer would be French. And Caron became the first French governor. So Pondicherry, since it was established by the French, so they can say that we are the masters of Pondicherry. Pondicherry does not belong to Mughal because we have established that. And even today the people of Pondicherry, very large population of Pondicherry, they are French citizens. They even vote in the elections of France. I mean, people living in Pondicherry, election booths are set for them so that they can choose who will become the, next Prime Minister of France. So Mahe, Karaikal, Balasore, Kasim Bazar were few important trading centers of French East India Company. Early setbacks to the French East India Company, because French people were not the only one who were present in India. There were British, there was Dutch, there was Portuguese. So the Dutch captured Pondicherry in 1693. Pondicherry, their most powerful territory of French. It was, established in 1674, but after a few years, it was captured by these Dutch people. So Treaty of Ryswick. So this was basically treaty signed by many European countries like Dutch, French, Spain, Portugal. So Treaty of Ryswick concluded in September 1697, restored Pondicherry to the French. The Dutch garrison held on to it for more than 2 years. So you can see that Dutch have already captured Pondicherry, but the politics of Europe influenced the events of India. In Europe, the Treaty of Ryswick was signed. So in that treaty, it was mentioned not only about Europe, but about other territories as well. So one of the territory was Indian territory. So now they were discussing what to do about India. So the clause said that Dutch people, you have to give back Pondicherry to the French people. So that is how again Pondicherry came back into the domain of French. Francois Martin. Why is Francois Martin famous? Because he had established Masulipatam, factory at Masulipatam. So till then he was the leading French general, you can say. So he died in 1706. So that was a major blow to French. In 1720, the French company was reorganized as the Perpetual Companies of the Indies. So the name was changed to Perpetual Companies of the Indies. So as you can see that French, British, Portuguese and Dutch all were present in India at the same time, and everybody was looking to expand. So it was obvious that some conflicts would occur amongst them, these European countries. So one such time period was there when British and French were involved in large-scale conflicts. So these large-scale conflicts are known as Carnatic Wars. In the 18th century, 3 Carnatic Wars were fought between various Indian rulers and British and French East India Company on either side. So please understand what is meant by this statement. So Indians, they used to keep on fighting among themselves. So what the British and French did, they said that instead of fighting amongst ourselves, let's support the fighting parties. I will support A, you support B, let them fight. Whosoever wins, then we can say that it is our victory. So this was the concept of Carnatic War. So it was not mutually decided. I am just saying this to explain to you. It was not that British and French decided that we are going to do so, but this was their strategy. It was like fighting shadow war. So in the 18th century, 3 Carnatic Wars have been fought. So these wars resulted in establishment of political supremacy of British East India Company. So 2 parties, Britain and France. So after these 3 wars, it was decided that French people are not going to rule India. British people would rule India because they were fighting for power. So because of these 3 Carnatic Wars, French people were out of race. The French company was reduced in the areas around Pondicherry only. Commercial and maritime rivalry between France and England was the primary reasons behind these wars. The entire South India was divided into minor Rajas, Nawabs and petty chieftains. So in North India, there was one single Mughal emperor. In South India, there were many small kingdoms. So these small kingdoms used to fight amongst themselves. So this Britain and France people, they decided that let's support these local rulers. So that is how France used to support A, Britain used to support B, and A and B used to fight amongst themselves. So that is what was going on. So Britain and French took opposite sides to support these rivals and increase their own dominance. So let us see, we know that there were 3 Carnatic wars. So let us see each of them. So first Carnatic war lasted for 8 years. So how did it start? English Navy under Burnet, you don't have to remember all this, you just have to remember the outcome. English Navy under Burnet captured some French ships. The French governor of Pondicherry, Dupleix, because Pondicherry was their power center, so government of France, you can say, was sitting at Pondicherry. The French governor of Pondicherry, his name was Dupleix, attacked the English in retaliation in 1746, and this led to the beginning of First Carnatic War. English appealed to the Nawab of Carnatic for protection. So what is Carnatic? First of all, you have to understand this. So this is South India, this is Coromandel coast. So Coromandel coast was also known as Carnatic. Carnatic does not mean Karnataka, please be aware. So English appealed to the Nawab of Carnatic for help. Here is Pondicherry, and you can say that Nawab of Carnatic was the neighbor of Pondicherry. So now fight was going on between England and France. So France is now asking an Indian to help them. Who is that Indian? He is the Nawab of Carnatic. So Battle of Saint Thome is a place near Madras, was fought between the French and Mahfuz Khan, who was the commander of Nawab of Carnatic, because the English people have asked for help. So Nawab is helping the English people. So Nawab sends his military commander, so whose name is Mahfuz Khan. The name of the Nawab was Anwaruddin. You don't have to remember these names at all. As a teacher, I am telling you, I will tell you what you have to remember. You have to remember this name, Dupleix, the French governor. So in this battle, the French emerged as winners. So this is the outcome. First Carnatic War was won by France. So Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, so in France it will be Aix-la-Chapelle, brought an end to the first round of Anglo-French conflict, because French have emerged victorious. So you have to remember what was the outcome, who was the French governor, Dupleix. Only this much you have to remember. And you have to remember the name of this treaty. This treaty was signed immediately after the French victory. So as per this treaty, the French and British people, they agreed that let's not fight. And since France had won, they had captured British territories. So as per the terms of this treaty, the French returned whatever they have captured from British people. The English possessions in India were returned. Actually, this treaty was signed in Europe. In Europe also, war was going on between France and Britain. Because war was going in Europe, that's why they thought that let's continue this war on Indian soil also. So politics of Europe was influencing all these events. So this treaty was signed in Europe. So as per this treaty, the French returned whatever they have captured from East India Company, while the French got back their North American possessions. So this was not an Indian politics, this was European politics. So France says to Britain, I will return your Indian property, you return my American property. So Madras was returned back to East India Company because the battle was fought near Madras and Madras was captured by French people. So now Madras was returned back to East India Company in exchange of Louisburg in North America to France. So this was basically the end result, that first Carnatic War was won by French, but they signed a treaty and they returned each other's captured territories. The first Carnatic War also demonstrated the importance of naval power, because both Britain and France, they were navies, so they didn't fight that much on land as they fought on oceans. So it was the display of who is a better naval power. The story of Second Carnatic War is a bit complicated, so you'll have to focus your attention. But the thing is that you don't have to remember too many details. You simply have to remember the outcome and the year. So just listen to this story. The French Governor General Dupleix wanted to, he was the French Governor General, and the French government used to sit at Pondicherry. So the French Governor General Dupleix wanted to assert influence and authority over the Indian kingdoms so as to make way for a French empire in India, because these French people also had ambitions that one day they should also establish themselves just like the Portuguese have done, Portuguese empire. So now they were having a fight with British, that who among France and Britain would succeed to form an empire. So how do you form an empire in India? For that you will have to win support. Either you defeat the local kingdoms or you win their support. So the French Governor Dupleix wanted to assert his influence and authority over the Indian kingdoms. So that means both Britain and France were looking for, getting foothold over more and more kingdoms of South India. So that was happening when Carnatic Wars were going on. But in Europe, it is interesting to note that in Europe, England and France were officially at peace. So an opportunity was provided to the French so that they can interfere in the local Indian politics. So what happened that the Nizam of Hyderabad, his name was Asaf Jah, he died in 1748. So after his death, his grandson and his own son, his grandson was Muzaffar Jung. Muzaffar Jung was the grandson and his own son was Nasir Jung. So these two people started fighting amongst themselves because both of them wanted to become the next Nizam. So this is Hyderabad and this is Carnatic. You can assume that they are neighboring kingdoms. So in the neighboring kingdom of Carnatic, the Nawab was Anwaruddin Khan. You don't have to remember all this name, just listen this story. So Anwaruddin Khan was the Nawab of neighboring Carnatic. So this Nawab of Carnatic noticed that two people are fighting for gaining power in Hyderabad. Who are those two people? One is Muzaffar Jung, the other is Nasir Jung, M. Muzaffar and Nasir. So this led Muzaffar Jung. So Anwaruddin Khan supported Nasir Jung's claim. That means son. He was the son, he was the grandson. So the neighboring kingdom started supporting the son. So what will the grandson do? So the grandson, because you see Carnatic was the ally of British. In first Carnatic War, Britain have held Carnatic, kingdom of Carnatic. So they were at good terms. So you can see Carnatic is supporting son. Son means Nasir Jung. And Carnatic has the support of British. So you can say Nasir Jung, Carnatic and Britain, they got on one side. On the other side was Muzaffar Jung. So Muzaffar Jung thought of asking help from French. So this led Muzaffar Jung to instigate war with French support against Anwaruddin. Who is Anwaruddin? Anwaruddin is the Nawab of Carnatic. So Muzaffar Jung, this person said, if you help Nasir with the help of British, I will go and take the help of French. So now you can see one side France and Muzaffar Jung, on the other side Nasir Jung, Nawab of Carnatic and Britain. So Anwaruddin Khan was supported by the British, but he was killed in the Battle of Amber in 1749. So what happened? This Nawab attacked Muzaffar Jung, but Muzaffar Jung killed him. So now you have two kingdoms. First kingdom is Hyderabad. The neighboring kingdom is Carnatic. Both the Nawabs have died. This Nawab had died naturally and this Nawab had died in battle. Now let's see what happened next. So now there was a tussle for Nawabship of Carnatic because the Nawab of Carnatic has also died. So two kingdoms, Hyderabad, Carnatic. Here the fight was already going on between Muzaffar Jung and Nasir Jung. The fight was already going on. Now the Nawab of Carnatic has also died. So what happened when the Nawab of Carnatic died? There also the tussle started. So now there was a tussle for Nawabship of Carnatic between Muhammad Ali, his own son, and Chanda Sahib. So Chanda Sahib was the son-in-law of a former Nawab. So you don't have to remember that much. Just understand that in both the neighboring kingdoms, fight for succession is going on. Here between Muzaffar Jung and Nasir Jung, here between Chanda Sahib and Muhammad Ali. But soon Muhammad Ali had to leave Carnatic. He fled from Carnatic to Trichy. So then Chanda Sahib was proclaimed the Nawab of Carnatic. So Chanda Sahib became the Nawab of Carnatic, but here the matter is not resolved. So then French forces marched onto the Deccan and fought and killed Nasir Jung. Because the French were supporting Muzaffar Jung. They were supporting Muzaffar Jung. Nasir Jung was supported by the Nawab of Carnatic, but the Nawab is now dead. Nawab is dead. Nawab's own son, Muhammad Ali, has fled from Carnatic. That means now Carnatic, nobody in Carnatic is there to help Nasir. So what will French do? So French forces marched and killed Nasir Jung. Subsequently, Muzaffar Jung was installed as the Nawab of Hyderabad. For some time, what happened? At both places, the matter is solved. Hyderabad and Carnatic. In Hyderabad, finally, Muzaffar Jung has become the Nawab with the help of French. In Carnatic, Chanda Sahib with the help of British. However, Muzaffar Jung was killed a couple of months later and French installed Salabat Jung as the Nizam. So, just after becoming the Nawab of Hyderabad, Muzaffar Jung started to disobey the French. So, French killed him and made a young boy Salabat Jung as the new Nawab or Nizam of Hyderabad. That means French were totally controlling Hyderabad and British were controlling Carnatic. In return, the French acquired from the Nizam 4 rich districts on the Coromandel coast, which were known as Northern Sarkars. So at this time, Trichy was under the control of Chanda Sahib and French, but Trichy fort was held by Muhammad Ali. So now problem started in Trichy because the son of ex-Nawab of Carnatic, Muhammad Ali, he had fled from Carnatic to Trichy. So now problem started that who will control Trichy. So to undermine the growing French power in the region, the English decided to support Muhammad Ali. So actually this Chanda Sahib was also supported by French only. So Carnatic and Hyderabad both were for some time controlled by French, but the problem started somewhere else in Trichy. So who will control Trichy? So Muhammad Ali had fled to Trichy. He was controlling Trichy. So he asked for the help of English. So now English are helping Muhammad Ali. Robert Clive, who later became the governor of Bengal, and this is the same Robert Clive who participated in Battle of Plassey, he attacked Arcot, the capital of Carnatic, as diversionary tactic. So this is called the Siege of Arcot, in which the British won. So now understand, the French were controlling both these, Hyderabad and Carnatic. There was third territory, Trichy. So Trichy was held by Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali had asked English for help. French were controlling both these neighboring kingdoms. So what did English do? They invade Carnatic. They invade Carnatic and they kill Chanda Sahib. So English invade Carnatic and Chanda Sahib was killed. So thus Muhammad Ali became the new Nawab of Carnatic with the help of English. So this, what was the outcome? Outcome was that British managed to win at last. Initially, French succeeded in making the Nawabs of their own choices, but later on, the English overturned that. That means English regained the control of Carnatic. Earlier, English people were friends with Nawab Anwaruddin. Now they are friends with his son Muhammad Ali. So this was the situation. So who won the second battle, or you can say second Carnatic War? So English won. The war ended with the Treaty of Pondicherry in 1754. As per the treaty, the English and the French were to indulge only in commercial activities in India and not interfere in subcontinental political affairs. So as per this treaty, they said that we will limit ourselves only to trading and business. We are not in India to fight war with each other. So you can say, in a way, they try to make peace with each other. So this was the outcome of Second Carnatic War. Now let's see what happened in Third Carnatic War. So there was an outbreak of 7-year war in Europe. So 7-year war was fought between France and Britain, French versus British. That was happening in Europe. So earlier there was peace between these two countries in Europe, but now all of a sudden war has broken out in Europe. So just a few years ago they have signed a Treaty of Pondicherry and they have promised that we will not fight. But now they are about to break that promise. Why? Because of politics of Europe. So this resulted in the Third Carnatic War. The British general Sir Eyre Coote defeated Count de Lally, who was the commander of French troops, at Wandiwash. So this is the most important question that has been asked from all the three Carnatic Wars. How did all this end? It ended in Battle of Wandiwash. In Battle of Wandiwash, French were defeated for once and all. French were completely destroyed by the British. Battle of Wandiwash ended almost a century of conflict over supremacy in India. So question is asked, who participated in Battle of Wandiwash? Obviously Britain and France, but who were the commanders? One side was Eyre Coote from Britain's side, and Count de Lally from France's side. So Battle of Wandiwash ended almost a century of conflict over supremacy in India and availed the British East India Company a far superior position in India compared to the other European trader. So you can say after the Battle of Wandiwash, it had become very clear that France have lost and British have gained. That means British will become the masters of India. France can go back to Europe. The 7-year war concluded by the Treaty of Paris in 1763, and this also led to end of Third Carnatic War. So before that, it was already decided in Battle of Wandiwash that they have lost. But officially, the treaty was signed in Europe. Everything was influenced by politics of Europe. So in Europe, they have signed Treaty of Paris. So by this treaty, it have signaled that let's not fight in India also. So that is how you can say French lost and British succeeded in controlling India. So this was the story of European powers. So French got Pondicherry, Karaikal, Mahe, Yanam, but condition applied. As per this treaty, they were given back Pondicherry, Karaikal, Mahe. All these are coastal towns, but condition applied was these were never to be fortified. So you would like to understand that why did France lose and why did English succeed? So you can have a few reasons. The English company was a private enterprise with less government control over it. That means the directors of the English East India Company, they don't have to take too much, or they don't have to consult for everything from their home government. They can take decisions then and there. Whereas for the French people, they have to take each and every decision after consulting their home government. So there was a delay in decision making on part of French, whereas the English could do the decision making efficiently. The other thing was that English Navy was far superior to the French Navy. The English held three important places. Before the arrival of France, English have already established themselves at, in Calcutta, they established in 1690, but Bombay and Madras was already under their control even before the French have landed in India. That means big cities were under control of English people. They have more money, they had more resources, they had more people. Whereas French people had only Pondicherry. That's why they could not defeat. The French subordinated their commercial interest to territorial ambition, which made the French company short of fund. So as soon as French people landed in India, instead of putting their attention in trade and business, they started doing wars. So if you do war, your business suffer. So they did not have that much money. They were not making that much money so as they can fund their wars, because their main focus was on expanding. Whereas what British East India Company did for first 50-60 years, they did not fight any major war. Their only interest was earning profit. So you can say lack of funds with French East India Company was also a major reason. And obviously the superiority, British military generals were well trained. They were far superior